What's going on? Thank you for viewing this tutorial video. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a saxophone sound. Okay, this is the first thing how you do it. The first step is really doing the V, like, let me come closer for you to be able to see me. Like, you gotta kind of bite your bottom lip like that. Now when you'll be able to do that, the secret is like to go to a higher pitch like after you go to a higher pitch, you're supposed to get your throat involved. You gotta give that sound kind of like from your throat in a certain way. Now, while you on a higher pitch already, the next thing that you do is saying ra 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 ra. Wow, you still got your teeth like that, you know, in order for you to be able to make that sound. That's where all the miracle happens. This is how we do this. I learned that if you use a trombone, da works better. But if you use like a saxophone, kind of smooth and like their beautiful sound, just rah rah rah, works better. Which really like a trombone, rah 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 works, but on this frequency, this is how you're supposed to do it. Now, before I do this, I gotta give you a warning. In order for me to make that saxophone sound, I gotta make a funny face. You know what I mean? And I ain't even scared about that. I'm used to, like the microphone and the camera is used to me doing that. So I hope after this, and you have the right to give me an award for the best ugly man after I do that sound. I'm a big, I'm a beautiful monster. My monsterness comes out when I do this saxophone sound, but I ain't scared about it. And you gotta get used to it too. So this is how we do it. You see, you kind of like saying V, like at the same time you say that ra. You hear where I'm coming from. Now, there's a difference. Like my saxophone, that's the way it sounds, but there's a difference between like the saxophone and the trumpet. For me, trumpet comes like from this side, and the saxophone comes on this side. So like if I sound like a trumpet, this is how I would sound. That's it. That's a trumpet right there. You got those kind of gap and kind of, you know, P and T at the same time that make that sound. You know what I mean? But you talk about a saxophone. The saxophone kind of went to school, man. The trumpet dropped high school, but the saxophone went all the way to college and earned its degree of sounding so deliciously beautiful, like the way it does sound. So, praise God for just creating everything. It really sound, better like when I usually like, you know, get on a piano, just sound with a saxophone and whatever, that's where magic happen, and that's how we're gonna do it right now. You ready? Let's go. Let's go get 'em.